Welcome back, historians, as the Fortress of Knowledge presents a story of a hometown hero, a man who fell from the sky, survived the impossible, and became a legend both in France and right here in Metropolis, Illinois. His name was John Marvin Steele, the real-life Man of Steel. Born on November 29, 1912, John Marvin Steele was the oldest of 7 children. His father worked the riverboats on the Ohio, while his mother cared for their large family. John wasn't the best student, but he had grit, and when World War II began, he answered the call. At 29, he joined the Army and became a paratrooper with the 82nd Airborne Division, training to drop from the sky into battle. In 1943, Steele deployed to North Africa, then to Sicily and Italy. He and his company trained for a secret mission that would change the course of history: the invasion of Nazi-occupied France. The mission's codename, Operation Overlord. On the night of June 5, 1944, Steele climbed aboard a C-47 transport plane bound for Normandy. His objective? Parachute behind enemy lines near a small town called Sainte-Mère-Église, just 6 miles from Utah Beach. But as his plane neared the drop zone, flak burst through the night sky, scattering paratroopers in every direction. Below him, the town was already ablaze, an accidental fire lighting up the square, exposing the descending soldiers like targets in the moonlight. As Steele dropped through the smoke, a gust of wind carried him off course. His parachute snagged on the church steeple, leaving him dangling high above the ground, 1 foot wounded, his weapon lost, and the battle raging below. For nearly 3 hours, he hung there, pretending to be dead as German soldiers fired at anyone who moved. The church bells rang endlessly, a haunting soundtrack to the chaos of D-Day. At dawn, 2 German soldiers climbed up to cut him down. Instead of shooting him, they treated his wounds and took him prisoner. But Steele was not done fighting. Later that same day, as Allied forces captured the town, he escaped through a window and rejoined what was left of his unit. By June 6th, Sainte-Mère-Église became the first town in France liberated by Allied troops. For his bravery, Steele received the Bronze Star for Valor and the Purple Heart. After the war, he returned home and worked quietly for electric companies, never seeking fame for his story. But the world wasn't done remembering John Steele. In 1958, author Cornelius Ryan was collecting stories for his D-Day book, The Longest Day. He interviewed Steele, whose unforgettable experience became a highlight of both the book and the movie. In 1962, Steele watched actor Red Buttons portray him on screen, his story now immortalized in history. In 1964, Steele returned to France for the 20th anniversary of D-Day. The townspeople greeted him as a hero. A new stained glass window in the church showed the Virgin Mary surrounded by paratroopers descending from the sky, and outside, a mannequin hung from the steeple, forever marking the spot where Steele once hung in silence. To the people of Sainte-Mère-Église, he wasn't just an American soldier, he was a symbol of freedom. John Marvin Steele passed away on May 14, 1969, in Fayetteville, North Carolina, and was laid to rest back home in Metropolis. Today, both France and Illinois remember him as the man who defied the odds, who hung from a church steeple in the middle of a war and lived to tell the tale. His courage reminds us that ordinary people can do extraordinary things when history demands it. From the quiet banks of the Ohio River to the fiery skies of Normandy, John Marvin Steele showed the world what it means to stand firm, to be truly made of steel.